So once again, the newest iPhone is going to be the most powerful smartphone in the world. I mean, here we are again. It's going to happen again. This time, they're saying it's going to have as much power as a MacBook Pro, an actual laptop. It will have massive amounts of processing power that could basically become a laptop. And it's all wasted. It's all wasted, ladies and gentlemen, because Apple knows how to make mobile processors that are more powerful than anything, but just refuses you to let you do enough stuff with them on their phones. I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about right after this.
This is, you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name's Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. If that sounds like fun to you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Anything I talk about will be in the description below. But for now, let's just get into the video. So yes, the iPhone 12 is going to have the A14 processor, which is predicted to be the fastest processor in mobile technology ever. I mean, we kind of already know it. The A13 was that, so the A14 naturally should be that. And with the move to 5 nanometer technology, it's just a matter of math. It's going to happen. And while it's cool to have a phone like this, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, that's super powerful. Oh, by the way, this case is savage, isn't it? Well, regardless if you have an iPhone or an Android phone, you can actually get one that's completely customized like this, completely engraved in wood. This is wood. It's engraved in wood. Oh my God, it's so awesome. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's a pretty cool case. But having a phone like this that could last all day and into 2 days was super critical for me at CES. It was awesome to have the ability to have efficient cores, not just powerful cores, but energy efficient cores to get me through the day in Vegas. I guarantee you there was not a single Android phone I've ever owned that would have gotten me through an entire day of what I had to go through. But this one got me through every single day, even if sometimes just barely. So when Apple makes improvements like that, where they add energy efficient cores, I'm all about that life. But we're at the point where the processors are so powerful now that we're getting into the point of, I mean, who cares? Now, what do I mean? Obviously, it's good to have a better processor every year. We're paying the money for it, so we expect a better processor. But the problem with Apple is they don't like to let you use that processing power in any real significant way on a phone. They kind of do on the iPad, which is great for me because this is actually how I edit all my videos on my iPad Pro. So the rendering times on a 4K video like this one are super quick. I love that. That's great. And then the next iPad Pro will be even faster. So I'll probably get that because for me, time is money. And yes, some of the processing power does go to some of the cool things that the camera can do. But quite frankly, if you just give it a little bit more time, you could probably get done some of the same things, like between half a second and a second. There's a lot of technology needed to bridge the gap between that. And some of it's going to waste, in my opinion. The problem with Apple is, like, they don't allow you to do anything significant with the operating system, like true multitasking. This came to light for me especially clearly at CES in Vegas, when I would have to pop out of an app like Lyft, do something else, and then pop back into the app, and then the app had to be reloaded. You see, multitasking isn't something that I use all the time, but when I need to use it, I kind of like to use it, and I kind of need it. And for me, one of the biggest problems was it didn't seem consistent. Like, at least if you gave me the rules of the game, I could play by them. But sometimes I would flip out of it, go to an app, come back, and they would load just fine. And then other times, I thought I would do the same thing, come back, and I had to reload the app. Like, it didn't make sense to me. There was no, like, obvious thing I needed to do. Where on something like a OnePlus 7 or even like a Galaxy Note or something like that, I could open up multiple windows. I could even put them side by side and I wouldn't lose anything. Like, I would lose nothing. Now, generally speaking, like I said, I don't use a lot of multitasking, and I believe most people don't. Just most people don't, because they don't even know, at least the average consumer, that that's a thing that you can do. However, when you do know about it and you do use it and you do need to use it, I mean, like, it's a thing. And to me, I think we're at a point now where the processing power and the amount of RAM and the storage and all the other things are at a point where Apple can't use the excuse of, like, being worried about it inhibiting the overall processing speed of your phone, or that it's some type of issue with the software that won't allow it to do it correctly. No, you kind of done it. You've done a half measure where you pull it up and you scoot it over and then maybe it works again. Apple, come on. You now have a processor that's going to be as powerful as a darn laptop. If you don't let the thing breathe and use the actual power of the processor, you're wasting the time. And I've called Samsung out on very similar things as well, where Samsung puts a whole bunch of time and money into gimmicks that we're never going to use. I talked about that in the very last video I did. Make sure you check that out. So I'm gonna call Apple out on basically the same thing. You're making an incredible processor, which will be great on the iPad, and I probably will get some use out of that. But on the phone, I mean, like, I would much rather you take that time and money and energy and give us some more productivity things on the phone, like multitasking, number one. Maybe picture in picture, I don't know, things that are on Android and have been for years. And I think that people that have been on iPhones for long periods of time that don't even know that these things exist, as soon as they come on their iPhone, they're gonna think you're the greatest company ever, even though you just copied them from Android. But who cares? You get to keep people in the walled garden. I mean, sounds like a win to me. So I don't know, for people out there that are on iPhones that have been for their entire life, you may not know what I'm talking about or even understand the point behind it, but a lot of you that are on Android phones know exactly what I'm talking about. And some of you even said in my comments that that's the reason you won't go to iOS. Now let me be clear, I've had a great experience on iOS this entire time since I've gotten the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Great. Battery life has really just, it's covered up for the shortcomings that I've just talked about. Having said that, when I was in Vegas, it was never more painful than then to not have true multitasking. It was a pain in the butt. So as soon as one of these Android phones comes out that really tickles my fancy, I think I'm going back over to the other side of the fence. Now it's gonna be kind of hard because I have so much Apple stuff here that I might keep the iPhone around because it is nice, it's nice. But man, there's just some things that you can't do on iOS that you can on Android. And it's all Apple's fault. But what do you think? Is the processing power that's gonna be in the new iPhone 12 worth it? Or is it a big waste of time? Because for me, I mean, it's like putting a Ferrari engine in a Volkswagen Beetle. Do you even know what that is? Some of you don't even know what that is. If this video helped you out in any way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if it didn't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm here every single week, having a blast. Hope to see you again real soon. Peace and love, peace and love.